You know, this seems to happen every year, whether it's the Cowboys around the league. You look, Terry McLaurin's asking for a trade. You got the Trey Hendrickson situation in Cincinnati. Sounds like with Micah's post, though, that he sounds serious.
Yeah, no question. The thing that jumps out to me that I just keep thinking through now, I've only covered the team for the last 15 years, but while these things have been happening, especially lately, you go back Dez Bryant, Zeke, Zach Martin, Dak, CD, Dez, they will have a holdout or like Micah show up, but they never actually request a trade. I can't think of another time that a Cowboys player requested a trade, let alone a star player. So while it gets our attention, it still is one of those things where I know people just jump to conclusions and think, oh, well, then they got to trade him now. He has to be traded. We have to trade him. Like, that's not going to happen. But it just shows you how ugly can this get, because you're also dealing with the other side, which is Jerry Jones, who is also very dug in on this. And Jerry Jones, I could see him at some point saying, you know what, Micah Parsons is under contract for this year. We can also franchise tag him the next 2 years. Like, we don't have to let him go anywhere, you know? And so he's got a side too, and I think it'll be hard for him to not say anything, especially when you see, you know, what Micah tweeted out.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is happening so early in camp. This is just August 1st. You would expect something like this to be deeper into camp, where you're 3 weeks in or about to break camp and things are really at an impasse. Micah has a different timetable than the rest of us, I think.
Well, he does, and I think part of that is because just being out here watching these practices, I can tell he's tired of just kind of standing by the sled and watching. He's not a guy that likes to watch. When we were at mini camp, when he showed up, you could tell it was hard for him to just stand there with his helmet, and next thing you know, you look over and you're like, is Micah Parsons jumping in that drill? So there was a part of me coming out to California where I was like, are we going to see that out here? Is it going to get to a point where Micah's like, just give me my helmet, I'm going? And we haven't seen that. And he looks like he's getting really bored with the whole just standing off to the side. So I think that this was just the next card to play. But what's interesting for us being here is that typically when these holdouts have happened like that, you know, like CeeDee Lamb was back in Texas, Zach Martin was back in Texas, Zeke was in Cabo San Lucas. Micah Parsons is here. Now, they don't practice today, but they'll be out here tomorrow. I imagine he'll be back out here, and Jerry will be up in the tower. And so that's what's going to be the interesting dynamic. It's different if the player isn't here, but Micah Parsons is here. And so what will the next step be?
So, yeah, what do you think Jerry's going to do now?
I think it's going to be tough for Jerry not to talk and kind of maybe in his way, because I don't see Jerry getting on a Twitter account that hasn't been used since 2011 when Tyron Smith was drafted, all of a sudden firing off an X post. So I think what will happen is he'll probably leave one of these practices and probably talk about it a little bit. And that's probably not the best thing, but I think it's going to be tough for Jerry, because I know that he felt like he had a deal done with him back in March. And so that's what's got Jerry fired up on his side too.
Finally, we live in a city where Luka got traded. What are the chances Micah gets traded in the same year?
I would say less than 5% chance. I don't see that happening.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Oh yeah, I would never. Oh my God, it's the Cowboys, Micah Parsons. Like, I think Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones, I've said this many a times, Micah's the player version of Jerry. They love the media. They love, doing this post like this is a perfect example. And so because of that, who says one side or the other doesn't say something where you're like, well, there's no coming back from that, you know? And so I got to leave the window cracked, but I highly unlikely.
All right. That's Jon Machota, who, by the way, along with Diana Rossini, sort of broke this story this morning.
We didn't think it was going to get to this level quite this early. We thought maybe it might take a day or two, or maybe a week. So we were a little surprised on how fast things started moving.
Thanks to Micah's tweet.
Appreciate it, John.